This video is designed to help you start a solar farm business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a solar farm business plan that you can download, and we'll lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful solar farm business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Investing in a solar energy farm has the following benefits. It can earn excellent cash on yield. The contracts are typically for a long duration. The cash flows the farm generates are usually tied to inflation. It has lower volatility because the revenue is predictable. It can provide an excellent return. It helps you earn money through nature, all year round. There has been rapid growth in the solar industry over the last 10 years. A solar farm refers to land where there are multiple ground-mounted solar tracking towers. This can be a working farm, or other kinds of unimproved or open land. A solar farm is a photovoltaic power station, essentially a big decentralized solar array, that supplies electricity to a power grid. Most massive arrays are owned by utilities. These farms include ground-mounted solar arrays. They are so large they can easily supply power to several households. The concept of a solar farm can be associated with a residential community-sized solar farm, and also large utility-scale solar energy farms. There are two types of solar farms that you can invest in. 1. Utility-scale solar farm. A utility-scale solar farm is a large-scale farm, stretched on a large area of land. It is enough to provide energy to thousands of houses and industries. This type of solar farm requires a major investment and offers a high return. 2. Community-scale solar farm. A community-scale solar farm is meant for smaller communities and businesses and produces around 5 megawatts energy. It is a shared farm that allows the investors to utilize the power and sell the remaining for profit. It requires an average investment, and the profit depends on the project. Solar farm return on investment. Investing in solar energy or farms involves a lot of money. Solar farm investment should be done cautiously, and after a lot of financial planning, since starting a solar farm will mean you have to invest a minimum of $1 million. The good news is that the ROI is worth the investment, as the recurring revenue will pay dividends for years. Instead of just using the electricity for powering your air conditioner or refrigerator, the solar panels will be used for creating power to be sold to the electricity utility. Thus, the power you make can be used by someone else, as well. When you have solar panels on the roof, you have a second electricity meter. On your farm, you will have your first meter, as usual, and you will buy electricity from the utility like before. The second meter will measure the power the panels make. You will get paid by the utility for the power that goes through this meter. So when you have solar panels, you are not just a consumer, but you are a producer as well. There are several things that you need to figure out before you invest in a solar farm. So, to start a successful solar farm, you need to follow a few quick steps to ensure success. Make sure you are thorough with your research. Before you start the solar farm, you need to carry out the research thoroughly. You need to be aware of the capital you need to invest in. Find out the cost per acre of solar panels, solar farmland requirements, other investors in solar power projects, facts related to solar farm return on investment, problems you might face and how to overcome them. Remember, you need honest answers to all your questions before you can get started. Solar farm companies need space to set up the panels. Thus, there is a requirement for land to get started. Often a question arises related to the area required for a 1 megawatt solar power plant. At least 15 acres of land is necessary to start. Those who have the capital ready can purchase the land straight away. If you do not wish to purchase, you might be able to lease the land. However, the leasing agreement should be for at least 50 years. This will ensure there will not be any need to dismantle the solar panels too soon. You can also invest in a shared community solar farm where you can pay for a part of the land of the solar panel only. Construct the structure. Next, it is time to erect the photovoltaic power structures. You can find many companies to contract with the mounting of the solar farm. The company is also responsible for most of the renovation and maintenance tasks. It is preferred to work with a single company for such a long-term project. Working with many companies is overly complicated. When you start a solar power business from scratch, you need to learn a lot about the industry. You must have knowledge about installation, different products available, and solutions for business owners and homes. It is also about building a good relationship with the suppliers and different sales consultants. When you start a solar farm, market research and feasibility are quite important. Services of a solar firm are useful for the following industries: hotels, high schools, colleges, and universities. blue chip companies, corporate organizations, television stations, households and individuals, sports facilities, financial institutions, insurance companies, and banks, religious organizations, distributors and manufacturers, advertising agencies, government, public works department, publishing houses or printing press, contractors, developers, and real estate owners, research and development companies. The next part of the video is not specific to a solar farm business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the solar farm business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful solar farm business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these 2 extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into 2 parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a solar farm business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free solar farm business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.